Welcome everyone, Mrs. Turubeni here with another tutorial. Today we'll be looking at question 2 from the May 2019 Maths Past paper. Our first question is 3p squared multiplied by 4p to the power of 5. Now we need to remember our laws of indices, alright? That law tells us when we are multiplying we have to add the powers. Alright, so all we do, we can do it in part. We can multiply the numbers first. We can say 3 4s are 12. Alright, and then p squared multiplied by p squared simply means that we have to add the powers. So it's like this, p squared plus we are adding the powers like this. Okay, so we're going to get p to the power of 7, and that's what we do. This is our next part, and as you can see here we are dividing, and as you should know, when you are dividing you have to let me write it over 3x over 4y to the power of 3. This division sign will now change to a multiplication sign, and we have to now flip the following fraction. So this fraction will now be 20y squared over 21x squared. This is what we do. Okay, now before we multiply across, we can reduce by cross multiplying, alright? We can divide what? 3 into 3, 1. 3 can go into 21 7 times. Now let's do the x. We have 1x here, it cancels off. 1x here. I'm just removing the square sign so we would not forget that we have x that's remaining here. Let's do the other side. This side can be reduced as well. 4 can go into 4, 1. 4 can go into 25. We have 2y's here. It can reduce, right? So we'll remain with 1y here. So now let's multiply what's left. 1 by 5 is 5. What's left on the underneath? 1y by 7x, and that's going to give us 7xy. Okay? Next, we have to solve this equation. Now the best way to solve this equation is to cross multiply here. So we're going to say 3 by x, and that's going to give us 3x is equal to 7x, sorry, not equal to, but it's added to 7x minus 1 by 1, and that is going to give me 7x minus 1, and all of this is equal to 0. Now if you don't understand what I just did, what you can do is do it in part. We are going to cross multiply, so we're going to say 3 by x plus, what are we going to say next? 1 by 7x minus 1. You can do it in part. Alright, 3 by x will give us 3x plus 1 by 7x will give us 7x. 1 by minus 1 will give us minus 1. And if you notice, you're getting the same answer. Alright, so however you decide to start, it's fine. Just take your time. Next, what we are solving for, we are solving this equation, of course, for the unknown x. We want everything that's x to remain on one side and everything that is not on the other side. So we have a total of 10x on this side is equal to minus 1 goes across, becomes a plus 1. X, to solve for x, as you can see here, 10 is multiplied to the x. Alright, so to get rid of this 10, I need to divide by 10 on both sides. This will cancel, and x would be 1 over 10. When a number x is multiplied by 2, the result is squared to give a new number y. what we have here is a verbal phrase that we have to translate into an algebraic expression. Alright, so they're telling us that when a number x is multiplied to a number 2, the result is going to be squared. Alright, they want us to express y in terms of x. In other words, y is going to be the subject. So y is equal to, when a number x is multiplied by 2, so we have x multiplied by 2, and this is going to give us 2x. The result is squared to give a new number, y. So we simply square this, and that's for 1 mark. Determine the two values of x that satisfy the equation y is equal to x. And the equation arrived in C1. Alright, so determine the two values of x that satisfy the equation y is equal to x. They're telling us here it must satisfy the equation y is equal to x. Question, what is y? They told us that up here y is 2x squared. Okay, so 2x squared is equal to x. That's what they're telling us here. Alright, so now we have to determine the two values of x. So I'm going to work it out here for lack of space. We have 2x squared is equal to x. Alright, now we're going to square out this bracket. 2 squared is going to give us 4, and x squared is going to give us x squared. And this is equal to x, and they want us to determine the values. Alright, they want us to solve. Alright, so we're going to solve this. I'm going to bring everything that's x on this side, so I'm going to remain with 4x squared. This positive x comes over, is going to become a minus x is equal to, what's on this side? 0. How am I going to solve this? I'm going to take out what's common. What do I have in common here? 1x here and 1x on this side. Okay, so that's going to come on the outside. What do I remain with? 4x minus, what do I remain with here? 1, not 0, 1. Close brackets, and this is equal to 0, so we have to solve. We have to equal each term to 0. So x is equal to 0, and the next one we have is 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. What are we solving for? X again. 4x, leave everything that's x on one side and take everything that's not on the other side. So this minus 1 goes across and becomes positive 1. I'm solving for x, but this 4 is multiplied to this x. So how do I get rid of it? I divide by the 4 on both sides. This 4 cancels off. I remain with x alone, and x is equal to 1/4. So we did find the two values of x. That is, x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1/4. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more.